All right, this is just like a little rant on my Amazon Kindle. So this is a pretty old device. This is the Oasis from I think 2019 it says on the back. It's pretty old. It's a 10-inch device. It's been my go-to device for a while. I have about 30 something books, 37 books purchased through the Amazon store. And I recently upgraded to, well, not upgraded, but I purchased this little tiny device so I can stick on the back of my phone. It's an e-reader. It's called the X3. There's actually a few variants of this. There's the X4, which is a slightly larger version of this. This is the Type C version, the first design that came out, and then they came out with this X3 version, which is a little smaller. It does have no Type C, though. It has a proprietary 4-pin connector that you can see here in the back. However, it's very similar. I don't like the stock firmware that it comes with on either one. I've since flashed Crosspoint, which has a variant of Crossink, onto the device, and I like it. It works very well. I'm using the tiny model for the tiny text, and yeah, I like the reading stats. It's been a nice go-to device instead of actually having to carry this around, or in between stuff. I can pull out this device from the back of my phone and use it instead. Anyways, not the point. The point is that because of this device, I started looking into this device and how to extract my valuable purchase content that I did on the Amazon store. So all my books. Getting the books out of this onto this has been a pain in the ass. It's been like a terrible nightmare. I don't know if you've seen all the announcements. I missed all of them. Since February 25th of this year, Amazon essentially has stopped allowing you to download the file or the Kindle version onto your local device. So everything happens now over Wi-Fi. And the only real way to extract it is if you have like an old firmware version in order to DRM them in order to be able to transfer the data. Obviously, Amazon Kindle does not want you to have access to your files, because if you have access to your files, you can then essentially remove the DRM, host it in something like Calibre, and then, put it on any device, or potentially piracy. So I understand their concern. However, I paid for these files. I want to be able to put them on a non-Amazon device. So I had to go through the process of jailbreaking my Kindle. To be fair, thanks to Jeff, Damn It Jeff, and his videos, I watched a few of them, and then I just threw these videos into Claude Code at first and said, hey, I have this exact version of this firmware, this exact Kindle. Watch this video, go through this Kindle modding wiki page, as well as this GitHub repo, which essentially just fills this Kindle with a bunch of trash, and do it. So luckily, Opus Claude was able to do this pretty well. It did reach a point where it was like, hey, this is a security threat. You cannot do this. Your API session has been paused or stopped, and I can no longer resume the session. So just know that Opus might get mad at you. And I just went and switched over to Open Router, and I used, what did I use? GLM? No, I did not use GLM. I used DeepSeek V4 Pro. So I just finished off the session with DeepSeek Pro, where I said, hey, write everything locally as I do all the stuff. That way, in case I switch models, which ended up happening, which was good, and I was able to finish off. So yeah, this Kindle currently is jailbroken, and it's running Co-Reader, which is great, because I can now take all my files that I have locally on my Calibre library, which is an open source kind of Kindle library, if you would, that allows you to convert your books as well as DRM them, pseudo supported, not supported, because technically it's a plugin that's not made by the developer, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this is my new library where I keep all my books that I've since extracted from my Kindle, and also my Google Play store books, as well as my Apple books. So all that has been consolidated into Calibre. From Calibre, I went ahead and imported all my books into my X3. They work great. It happens even over the air, directly from Calibre to the device, or I can just use USB. And since this is now jailbroken and it's not going to update, I was able to download all of my books from Wi-Fi onto the device, put them onto Calibre, DRM them, and then move them around. Obviously, this is not a good move for Amazon. There is a lot of pushback, and as this changes frequently, and Amazon keeps trying to patch it on, there has been some posts by The Verge, for example, where they're trying to kind of reverse the decision and offer DRM books for people that do want to move their own property around to their own device. There is some comments on this post that I'll link down below. But pretty much they've made it a lot more difficult to own your own software, own your own book. So it's the whole idea of like even with movies and shows where at any point if you buy something off like the Apple store or the Amazon store and they decide that that content is no longer useful to society or relevant or politically correct or whatever it may be, and they take it out, technically you paid for it, and there's no real recourse, there's no real lawsuit. Sometimes they're goodwill refund, but again, it's like anti-consumerism, anti-capitalism. It's very authoritative, so I'm not very happy with it. Anyways, small rants. Kindle jailbroken, new device, everything is on Calibre. Here's some good sources. Here's a device if you're interested. Link is below. If you click on it, it's an Amazon affiliate link, so I'll make some money off of it. And I'll point to Jeff's old Kindle modding wiki as well as this GitHub repo below. So yeah, if you want more deep dives on this X3 and how it looks, how it works, I'll be testing it out for a few more weeks. So no review coming soon, but maybe in the future. And there's plenty of videos of people jailbreaking their Kindle, so I'm not gonna make a video on that. It looks as identical to what a Kindle looks like. The only difference is you have now a Kindle launcher here. So this is Koala. Run that, and then you can launch Code Reader off that. And then now you have all your books from. Oops, I keep hitting back with my thumb. And then you have access to your root folders where you can pull up your EPUBs or whatever it might be broken. You can also disable ads, but you know, I'm not gonna tell you how to do that because you know you don't want to get sued by Amazon. So it's like 2 button clicks. You can figure it out. And Damn It Jeff even has a Patreon you can join, which teaches you how to do it. But really, you don't need to join that. You should, but you don't. It's pretty straightforward. There's literally a link on this page. Anyways, yeah. Amazon sucks. I'm annoyed. I had spent 2 days of my life trying to figure this out, learn what Calibre was, which is great. Very grateful for that part. Really annoyed that I don't have access to my own stuff that I paid for. You know, 30 bucks at what, you know, 37, let's say 37 bucks times an average of $9 each. Where you're looking at like 400 bucks worth of books. That's just on my Amazon alone. You know, multiply that times a few more on Google and a few more on Apple. If I bought them physically, obviously I would have no issue here, but you know, we live by the sword and die by the sword, so I guess it is what it is. Anyways, rant's over. I'll see you later. Bye.